Hello, beloved. It's me, Robin Hallett, intuitive healer and light sparkler at robinhallett.com. And this is Tea with Robin. On today's episode, the drama llama, the level of drama and chaos in your life. How do you transform the familiar, stuck, sticky places in you, inside of you? The stuff you think about, the stories you tell. How do you change it? Go beyond it. How do you get yourself to the next level? For those of us who carry a story that we are challenged, or we're a problem, or we're difficult, or we're not like everybody else, we may not see how we create the chaos and perpetuate cycles that just don't need to be anymore. I'm going to talk about that with you, so come grab a cup of yum yum and meet me here. Hi, gorgeous friend. It's me, Robin. Welcome back to the podcast, Tea with Robin. This is episode 145. 145. All of the show notes, anything I mention, links, what have you, you can find in the episode description here where you're listening, or you go to robinhallett.com/145 and you'll find it. If it's your first time here, hello, nice to meet you. This is a podcast about healing, and I really care about down-to-earth healing, like tangible, real words, understandable examples, things like that. That's what this podcast is. I've been doing healing work since 1996 when I started my own awakening journey, and I love to help you heal what's going on for you. We're an amazing posse of friends here riding together. We have a lot in common. If you feel a resonance, I hope you'll stick around. And thanks for being here. Thanks for giving this a whirl. And my gratitude to the path you're on and however you came to be here today. Thank you. Friends returning, how are ya? How's the week been? Have you been taking good care of yourself? Have you been honoring what you need in this time? Have you been loving and kind? That's always what I want to know. Life keeps happening. Have you noticed how that is just so freaking true? Life keeps happening. And is anybody else attached to a perfect vision of what your life is supposed to be like besides me? You get caught in that story again and again. Like you got this perfect vision of what it's supposed to be. And, it's usually not where you are right now. Sometimes I tell people there's no there there. There's no there there. You're only ever here. And if you write the word there, the word here is right in it. All we ever have is here and now. And that is not just cheesy woo-woo mumbo-jumbo you find on a greeting card. All we ever have is now and here, But you can't get anywhere but where you are because you're here and it's now. So I want to talk today about how we help ourselves stop certain cycles of drama and chaos that we continue to create. And sometimes we don't see that we're creating it. Sometimes we do see that we're creating it. All these little stories we carry about what's wrong with us, and how we're not okay. That's what I want to talk about today. That's what we're going to talk about coming up. And over here, I'll say, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a very intense week for me. It's been an intense week for my friends. It's been an intense week for friends I help in healing sessions. And I would say there's a great phrase trying to come to my mind right now, but it's not here yet. Like, We need a dramatic way of saying it. It always helps. Like we're crossing the zodiac, We're crossing, we're going somewhere. We're making a journey for our lives right now, and for our freedom and our transformation and our joy. That's what we're doing. And so you are finding this. I know it. I'm getting so many letters and messages, direct messages on Instagram. You are finding these places in yourself too, where it's like the fight for your life, for your awakening life. It is on right now. And so I hope that you keep coming back to your heart and you keep coming back here because, this is the love that heals. What we're talking about here is the real deal. And it's so important. So let's have some yum yum and dive in. I'm all out of coffee over here. It's early morning, by the way. I'm recording on a Saturday and I'm getting ready for a day of healing sessions. And by the way, did you know I have sliding scale healing sessions available now? It's right there on my scheduling page. If you go to my website and you click book a session or work with me on Instagram, the link in my profile, work with me, you'll get there. And you're able to choose a rate that works for you. I've set a scale that works for me. And I hope that this helps those of you who want to work together and don't feel, it's not, the regular rate is not within your reach or, I don't know, words. It's there for you. Use it. If you need help, I'm here. It's really my joy to help us get free and to see the light in us and help us discover there's no shame in who you are. And if you struggle, if you get stuck, I want to help us learn how to slow down and be present with that instead of just trying to cover your tracks or keep going in your cyclone, right? Whoa. So, anywho, check that out if it's calling you. And I've got a cheers here. So I have my famous instant coffee. I love it so much. It's by Tastely. It's organic, dehydrated, the good stuff. Freeze-dried, whatever. I think it's dehydrated, not freeze-dried. But let's go, Robin. Get it on, girl. I want to cheers to you. And I want to say the infinite in me is greeting the infinite in you. We are here for our joy. We are here for our freedom. We are not here for suffering. And I want to help us get free today. So cheers to our freedom. Cheers. Woo! So good. I was downstairs. That is good. Wait, one more. Oh, yum, 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 yum. I was downstairs hanging out with Jeff, number one husband, and we had a really excellent conversation this morning over coffee and sitting out on the porch, looking out at our garden and our little makeshift house. It's definitely a Robbie Sabi house that is the coolest little bungalow on the block. And we talk about things. It's a beautiful thing. We talk about deep stuff. And today we were talking about the energy of defending yourself inside your own mind because you think you're kind of strange and weird. Yeah. Do you think you're strange and weird, my friend? In your down moments, do you have judgy thoughts and worries about who you are? The last few episodes, and you don't have to go back now, you can listen later, and I would suggest that as a supportive, my shoulder just cracked. Did you hear that? As a support, because I'm doing this move, a support gesture, a supportive backdrop for what we're going to talk about today. So for those who care deeply, that was 142. Who cares? 143 and 144 is you are not a problem. These are excellent backdrops to what we're going to talk about here. So we were talking, and he was saying some stuff about, he wants to be free to be himself. And we talk about that. And, you have stories about who the self is, right? This self, your personal self, who you are in this life. You have stories. There are so many stories I hear. The way we carry shame about who we are. We don't even always know it. It really, really impacts us. Think about your own life. What is it so hard to accept about yourself? What do you get stuck on about you? Where are you hard on yourself, critical with yourself, mean to yourself? And then, can you see how you spend gobs and gobs of your mental energy, of your time, focusing on that problem, and then sort of defending yourself, trying to bargain with how you're going to stop being like that, whether it's whatever the issue is. Think about your life and yourself. You will always find the perfect example then. I really want to help us get to the place where we accept and embrace where we're at right now, exactly as we are. And it's hard to do when you're embarrassed or ashamed or defended about who you are. That's why we're talking about this today. Do you carry a story that you're too much? Do you carry a story that you're too loud, too flamboyant? I was talking about being flamboyantly emotional last week. These stories. And a lot of them are things people have told you, or maybe you had a big breakup in your life. Somebody left you and they gave you reasons why, and you're still carrying those reasons why like the truth and fighting against it, Or that one thing somebody said to you made you feel bad, and you made that into a truth and you carried it, These are things we do. Or the way you get worked up when you have to go to the dentist or the doctor, the way you get worked up and you're like a wild animal, and then you judge yourself for that. Like all these little places we have. One big story coming to mind right now is the way people defend themselves for being too out there, too bold, too expressed, too truthful. I notice this a lot when they post on Instagram. How would it be to not need to keep reintroducing the fact that nobody gets you and people push against you in order to share your message? Just share your message. That's what I'm talking about. You don't need to keep bringing back the problem and then defending yourself. That's the problem we're doing. We keep remembering the issue that is wrong with us, or wrong with what happened, or upsetting about it. We keep calling that up in the mind, and then we defend ourselves. And so you go through your day in this defended energy, in this defended way. And the problem with that is the mind is connected to the ego, and it's got a database of memories available to it to generate the feelings that go along with this, to keep you in a place of stuck, separated, difficult, challenged stories. And you can't go beyond it. So you study all this stuff. You come here and listen. You've got your teachers, your mentors, your people. And then you start to berate yourself. Because I know all this stuff. I know all this stuff. I know all this stuff. I should be further along with this by now. I should be further along by now. I know all this already. People tell me that. You know, it's like they'll come to their session. I'm just moving my Post-its here. They'll come to their session so defended because they really want to talk about what's going on, but they should know better by now. They should know this by now. I shouldn't need your help with this by now. And it's such a stuck place. I really want to help you see it. That this is all happening at the level of mind, of the small self, of the ego. And your intellectual understanding is not going to serve you here. You have to do this work from a deep, deep place. From a deep, deep place. The deepest truth is you are a spark of the divine. You are the light of whatever this universe is, of whatever, wherever we came from before, you know? Doesn't matter to me if you don't believe in God. You came from somewhere else. There's a part of you that's greater than this one person you know yourself as. There's more power to you, you know? And that energy is present, expressing through you. It's witnessing everything. It's here. You don't have to read a book to get to it. You don't have to do 500 healing practices to get to it. You have to allow yourself to connect with it. That's all. And part of it is when you're in the crazy, when you're in the chaos, when you're in the drama again, you know, think about your familiar places. So number one and I were talking about our familiar places this morning and how we both want to go beyond it. But I was saying in our case, you know, we have to learn how to embrace what's right here, what is, how to embrace what we're wanting and to go beyond just defending ourselves. So, you know, in my case, I've always wanted to matter. I've had this wound around mattering, but I've always wanted to matter. I've always wanted to share and teach and make a difference. So I call it I want to matter, you know? And even as a very, very little kid, I would talk to my stuffed animals and teach something, how to do something, talk about love. I would go to the nursing home in my neighborhood at like 7 or 8 years old. I'd ride my little bicycle with the banana seat. Did you have a banana seat? My bike was green and it had those tassels on the handlebars. I'd ride my bike there and I would hold hands with people. I still marvel at that because you know the practicality of doing that today, it just would never happen. I would go hold hands with people. I always wanted to hold people. That's been alive in me since I was, my earliest memories were around that. And also the pain of wanting to matter. So I'm not going to try and extrapolate why this is. And I mean, you've probably read and studied enough stuff by now to know, like, the wound has a gift, and the gift and the wound in you work together. You got to remember who you truly are and go beyond these places where you carry this story. You keep indulging your story that you're not enough, or you do it wrong, or people don't, you know, you're only caring about the response you're getting to things or not getting a response. You know, or you're standing on the scale and you're like literally determining your worth by the number on the scale, or the way your arms jiggle, or if your boobs are saggy. Oh my freaking God. You have to get beyond that place, and you're the only one. It's the same thing. If your kid is in a bad space and you're disturbed by that, you've got to help yourself get beyond that place. It's true. If you're having trouble paying your rent right now, if money has been an extreme challenge for you right now, it's really important to recognize the problem and the dance of chaos you keep doing around it. And everybody slips into this. Like, it's everybody. So you're not the only one. Maybe you're somebody who is embarrassed or ashamed about what you really, really want to do. Say you want to be a dancer or a singer, or you just want to be more free. You're so concerned with how it's going to sound if you express what you really think. Pay attention to how long and how much you indulge your fearful stories and your defenses. The way you defend yourself in the mind where nobody's even here. Nothing's even happening. This is what I'm talking about today. We have to get beyond this place. Where you're allowing yourself to do what you know you were born to do, what you came here to do. Whether or not people tell you they love you, or they accept you, or you're beautiful, or you did good today. Whether or not you get any responses to what you shared, whether or not anybody compliments you, whether or not you walk out of the house and nobody makes fun of you today for being weird. You got to get beyond. What is it that you would love? Stop letting the ego decide. It is never about fame and fortune and accolades to the light in you. It is always about the joy, the freedom, the love, the peace. Yeah, I was talking to a friend several weeks back, and she said to me, when I listen, hey, you're going to know it's you. Yeah. She was saying, when I first started listening to your podcast, you would share, your message doesn't change. Joy and peace. We came here for the joy. We came here for the peace. Your message hasn't changed. But when I started listening and you would talk like that, I would be like, what? No way. It just doesn't compute, and it feels challenging to understand, because there's so much suffering here. There's so much challenge here. And what about this, and what about that, and what about this, and what about that? And so I felt so blessed to get to hear that. And I love getting that kind of feedback because it really helps me work better on my messaging, It helps me improve. So I thank you. But, when I say we came here for joy and peace, I'm not talking about spiritual cheesy. Spiritual cheesy, if you want that, go to Instagram, you will find it. There are so many messages out there about just, I wrote an email this week. This is funny, but only one person responded this week. This never happens. It's perfect. I'm not talking about spiritual cheesy. I said, when I say enjoy something, enjoy it, just enjoy it, I am not talking about the spiritual cheesy I see in other places. So many of us have been impacted by life, and we have suffered like nobody knows. Nobody will know how much you have suffered, right? You're in your own head. You've been through your experiences. You know what it's like to be you. You've been seriously, big ticket items have happened. You've been seriously impacted. And slogans like that, used in the spiritual cheesy, just choose love or rise above or choose joy, love and peace. Slogans like that can make us try and bypass our actual feelings. This is what, when they talk about spiritual bypassing, you'll see a slogan like that and you'll say to yourself, oh God, yep, I suck. I'm really sucky at this healing journey and I never do it right. And that's right. That's why I'm not like her, whoever her is. I'm not like you. That's why I'm overweight, because I can't just do it. I can't just enjoy it. I can't be in my joy and peace. That's why I'm not wealthy. That's why I'm not successful. That's why I don't have a husband or a wife or a partner. That's why I'm not in a relationship. That's why I got sick. You are so quick to blame yourself when you see spiritual cheesy. Am I right? Don't do it. Those kinds of slogans like that make you bypass your feelings, and then you end up shaming yourself for your lack of progress. No. No. It's when I say we're here for the joy, we came for the joy, I really mean it. It's a serious, deep healing skill to say, wherever you're at in this moment, in the chaos, in the drama, in the upset, if it's been another sleepless night, if the kids are, the kids lit the house on fire and your husband, whatever your husband did, how it goes, the stories. We're there in it. Whether we want to be there or not is irrelevant, actually. How much time do you waste on that? I know I do. You're literally here in your reality and you're arguing that you're not or you don't want to be. That's not powerful. That doesn't help you. Just to keep saying, I don't want to be here, or I'm going to leave, I'm moving out, I'm sending the kids to a kibbutz. When I was growing up, lots of kids got sent to kibbutz, by the way. Yeah, my parents were always telling me they were sending me away too, and they eventually did. But the joke was, it actually was the best thing that ever could have happened to me to get sent away to an away school. Thank God, because that really saved me. But the point is, when you're dreaming about things that really aren't going to change, you're not helping yourself. You're digging in even further. The point is, we are here. When you realize this is my life, this is my situation, this is my weight, this is my desire. When you accept, in my case, I really want to help people. I love it. That is a consistent first response in my heart. And bigger than that, I feel that it's my soul's calling. But it's not my soul's calling to become, famous or liked or to matter to the world. Do you know what I mean? That's the ego's extrapolation of things. How can you convert this to your own world, love? Because that's what counts. This desire to be something other than who you are. How can you use it to make contact with your infinite self, with your immortal self? We have to stay connected to the one in us who's bigger than the personal self. You have to find that place of oneness. And if you're here, I can say it. If you're here more than once, if you know this podcast and you listen, that's you, my friend. You don't get to be connected to God or whatever when it's all going well. You have to remember to connect when it's going crazy in your head. you are light in a body expressing itself as you. You have to remember this and see if you can enjoy the play. You ever find those moments where your mind is just churning the nuttiest thoughts? You're not dreaming, you're awake and it's happening. How everybody hates you and nobody supports you and nobody has your back and you're going to be alone in a van down by the river someday. See if you can enjoy the play. See if you can find some humor. See if you can pull back a little from the reality of that. There is a way you can use your imagery to help yourself not go so deeply into your crazy stories. And that is the work right now. You have to pull yourself back. It's going to keep happening. It's a little like a groove we keep developing, and we set things into motion, and it will take some time, but you can practice with your imagination. You can, here, let's do an example together. Have you ever sewn anything with a needle and thread? A lot of you are creatives here. You may have done a project or stapled with a stapler. Sometimes my examples crack me up. When I was being taught how to sew as a little girl, I was always asking, why can't we use the stapler on this thing? So, okay, but either way, I'm using this as an analogy, a practice example. There is a way that you can stitch a little lightly. If you imagine 3 pieces of fabric together and you only want to make a stitch in the top piece of fabric, or when you staple sometimes, you want to leave some room before the staple hits the thing. So you can maybe, run something under that, or you want to staple over a cord and not press it down so far. There is a way you can use your imagery to help yourself not go so deeply into your crazy stories. You need to find that. The depth of the drama is up to you. The chaos that churns is up to you. And I don't say it enough, but I will say, really, we are responsible for creating chaos and drama around us too. When we believe these stories that we allow to play out, when we believe those stories, we can really hurt other people because we're in this reactionary place. We're in this hurt place. I say this a lot here, hurt people hurt people. When you're hurt, you hurt other people. And it's also part of the work. And hey, you don't get all the glory here. I do the same thing. Believe me, there's so many times where I have to apologize, or number one will say, why do you get like that? Why? It's so hard and this and that. And it's like, yeah, it is. It's hard for me. And we've been really talking about this trend. It's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be deeply caring about things and reactive sometimes. It's okay if you're like that, my friend. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not sparkly and beautiful like that too. You are. All of how you are is divine. It's perfect. It's beautiful. And it's necessary. People like us, we matter in the world. We're needed in the world. And especially those of us who want to heal, want to come out of the ego's grip, the dark glass of the ego, where everything is so challenging at times. And then the remorse afterwards, my God, that remorse can go for days, can't it? And nobody gets it but you, how deep that is. So, just want to say, me too. I mean, we need friends like us on the journey, willing to say it happens to me too. And it does happen to me. And I feel blessed that when it happens, I have the ability to practice again, and I have friends in my life who help me, you know? And I hope you're feeling helped right now, because I'm your friend here to help you too. Yeah. True. It's also part of the work. We have to go beyond that place where we're hurting people, where we're creating more chaos, where we're saying things in a moment of hurt. You don't have to be ashamed of yourself for that, my friend. However, you can do better, because you don't want to suffer. You don't want to suffer. And if you just take a look at a situation that happened for you recently, the drama and the chaos that gets generated when you're in a reaction, when you're in a defended mode, it has such lingering, long-lasting effects. Wouldn't you like to have more to your day than that? Having to clean up your mess or be defended throughout the day about that thing you said or did. You know what I'm talking about? So stay connected to the one in you who's bigger than your personal self. Try, when you catch yourself in the cray-cray again, try to stitch a little more lightly with the story. Try to not get so sucked in. Pull back a little. Remember, I came here to enjoy all of this, even this. It's all a play to the part of me that is eternal. Let me see if I can practice here. Spirituality is not like a one-way ticket to manifesting everything you want or something. You have to practice it 24/7, and you have to get better at that. That's all there is to it. Yeah. And always, if you need a little help, I'm right here. Sessions with me, they are the bomb. I gotta say, you know? I love to help, and I will if you're ready. So friends, you know, I guess that wraps for today. I said it last week, I'm collecting your amazing letters, and I know they're right, and we will get to some of those soon. For now, I'd love you to help support. If you felt supported, I'd love to I'd love to see you help support the podcast in any way you feel comfortable doing so. Share it with a friend. Listen again and receive the light for you. Maybe write a review. Something you receive, something you appreciate. And I thank you always for that. You know, a friend said to me, I've heard this so many times, people don't always share your content, Robin, because they're embarrassed to admit that they like it. And I will say that's another story. They're embarrassed. They don't want people to think they're weird and woo-woo. That's another story. How long are we going to protect the stories of what other people think? How long are we going to worry about people thinking you're a weirdo? Why does that matter to you more than your freedom? Yeah. All right. Well, loves, I am off to a day of beautiful sessions, and after that, I'll be going on to my beautiful garden and playing. Maybe I'll get into my little pool and enjoy. We came here to enjoy. We came here for the joy. May we remember that it's about our joy. And may we not be defended about who we are and what we're doing. This has been me, Robin Heartsparkler, and I'm amazing, Hallett. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Life is very short, let's make the very most of it. You are a precious gem and I love you. Do 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 do. We are here to shine and shine bright. You are a gem and I love you. Do 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 do. Life is precious and you are a spark of the divine. So shine like you know it, rock it like you mean it, 'cause you really, really mean it, and mean it, and mean it, and mean it, and mean it. Don't let crispy people tell you that you aren't sparkly, 'cause you are, 'cause you are, 'cause you are. Thank you. I like that. I love it, honey. Thank you. Give me a kiss. Thanks.